Okay. Um, yeah, we were told to report to Newkirk Station, south end of the southbound platform, and we were scheduled to work with track department, which we normally do. Most our title we work with track department a lot. So we were told to work with track department that day, but track, we waited for track. I just happened to be at the platform a little earlier than usual when I heard screams on the northbound local platform. And I looked over, and sure enough, I seen a lady on the platform, and she was in the middle of the tracks, clearly in the middle of the tracks, and she wasn't saying anything. She wasn't screaming. She was just right in the middle of the tracks. And immediately, I know that this is a very dangerous station. Coming into the station, there's a grade, a downgrade, and there's also a curve, and it's canopied, so it's dark. So I knew I didn't have enough time to approach her and grab her and get her off the track because I seen the train approaching. So the only thing that I was able to do to save her was to jump on the tracks, and to warn the motorman that there's somebody on the tracks. So I didn't have anything other than my vest. Thank God I had my vest on because he was able to see the vest, and it's the new vest, and it's more fluorescent. So he was able to see me, and I frantically waved across the tracks, which is letting him know, like, you got to stop. There's a problem. There might be somebody on the tracks, or there's a problem. You got to stop. It's where he's seen me. He put his train into emergency, and the train came within a few feet of hitting the lady that was on the tracks, and she was about 100 feet into the station on the uptown local track.
When you saw him on the tracks, did you, training-wise and instinctively know something's
No,
wrong?
well, as I'm coming into the station, it's a downgrade, so the train is traveling pretty fast, about 35 miles per hour. So as I'm coming in downgrade, I saw the vest coming across the tracks. So then, right away, I knew something's wrong. Something's wrong. So I put the train in emergency, and at this point, I don't know what's going on. But the momentum is carrying the train in the station. So as the train comes around the curve, I stand up. I see a lady standing there, and she's looking at me, and she's not moving. And the train is barreling towards her, and she's just watching me. I'm thinking, oh God, please stop the train, stop, stop, stop. Because once I applied the emergency brake, I had the maximum brakes. I could apply. So all I could do is just stand there and hope the train stopped. And she's standing there and she's watching me, and like something straight out of a movie. And just as the train is about to make contact with her, it stops.
So,
And
Tony,
So,
where are
yeah.
you?
Well, when the train came into the station within 3 feet of hitting the lady, I decided to get back on the platform, and then I worked my way over to the front of the car where the motorman was, went down onto the roadbed, and I seen her standing right in front of the train. She had a blank look on her face, a little distressed, and so I approached her. I told her, I said, listen, we got to get off the tracks. These are it's a dangerous place to be. Nothing's going to happen to you. I'm here. I'm going to walk you down to the end of the platform, and then we'll go up the stairs, and then we'll walk, and we'll get you some help. And she definitely complied. She didn't resist me or fight me, and I knew I had to get to her because the tracks are dangerous. So I did what I did, got her on the platform, and then all along I'm trying to talk to her, and trying to tell her, listen, you need some help. If somebody's there'll be police and there'll be an ambulance coming soon, and we can get you some help, And she came up. She went up the whole length of the platform, up the stairs, and then she came out this entrance, and then she was walking up this way, and I was with her all along, and she just did not want to get any help. She just
Did she say anything to you?
not really. She was. You could clearly see she was definitely stressed. There was definitely a blank look on her face, and I don't know.
When the train came to a stop, she said to me, why? Like, why did I stop the train?
Yeah.
So I think she made up her mind that she don't want to be here no
How
more.
does that make you feel, you guys? How were you feeling when you
Well,
here, and how were you feeling when she said why?
Well, when I seen her, I didn't hear her say the why. However, I did know I know I had to get her off the tracks, and because the tracks are electrified. The third rail is live. She could, God forbid, fall or trip and electrify herself or whatever. So I had to get her off the tracks. And then, like I said, we walked up the stairs, up here, walked up this way, and then walked about a block and a half with her, pleading with her. I told her, please, you got to stop. Physically can't touch her. I know I can't do that. I can't restrain her, but I felt like doing that, but I know I couldn't do that. But she looked, she looked like a normal person, just distressed. And it appeared like she was going home. I mean, to me, it looked like she was going someplace, like she knew exactly where she was going. She was between 45 and 50, green eyes, white female, about your height,
Yeah,
very
about my
skinny,
height,
jeans, pink shirt, almost like a blonde, like a rusty brown blonde hair, and
You put your safety completely on a side and went down there. I know it's your job, but that's not part of your job description.
no, it's not. The reason why, I decided to do what I did was because if she got struck by a train, it's going to screw him up so bad. His life is like ruined. The people on the platform seeing this, their lives are going to be ruined, and my life would be ruined.
Were you on the tracks that the train were coming on, or were you on?
Excuse me?
You on the track bed?
Yeah, I was on the roadbed. I was on the roadbed on the local track, the same track that the motorman was riding his train on.
Standing next to her when she was physically standing up, or was she lying?
No, she was physically standing up, and when I got up on the platform onto the roadbed, I was with her at the time, escorting her off the tracks.
Larry, how far did the train stop in front of her?
I say it was at least 3 feet, 2 to 3 feet. It was like out of movie.
Feel you were going to stop in time?
No, I didn't think I would make it.
How do you feel when she said,
You see the train coming towards you.
Yeah.
What are you thinking now?
Well, I work on the tracks every day. I've been doing this for many, many years, so I know, I have enough response time to clear myself up, to get out of the way. However, it's just an instinct that it was just a pure instinct of, I had to save this lady's life,
Do you feel like a hero today?
Yeah, not really.
You saved someone's life.
I did, but it's just a regular day, I guess,
Larry, he's waving. You're not sure what's going on. When you first see the woman on the tracks, what goes through your head in that instant?
At that instant, I'm just praying to God, stop, please make the train stop. And the train is barreling towards the lady, and she's just standing there. As the train is approaching, she didn't even budge to try to get out of the way. She just looked at me with a blank stare, and she was looking, and she was just waiting for the impact. And I thought it was gonna come, but thank God it never came.
Train.
Just explain, Larry, if you can explain when you say you hit the emergency, just describe what that is and what that does.
Okay, the emergency brakes is the maximum of brake that I could apply to stop the train. So the train is coming down the downgrade, it's traveling about 35 miles per hour. So once I see him coming across the track, I knew something's wrong, because I'm seeing him running, something's wrong. So I put the joystick, you pull it all the way back, and that puts the train into emergency. When the train goes into emergency, I could just pray for it to stop, because the momentum is taking the train, and the downgrade is coming around the curve. And at that point, I have no idea what's going on. When the train comes along the curve, then I see the lady standing on the track.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, please stop.
At this station, it's a very dangerous station even to be on the tracks. There's no clearance, which means that there's no clearance. Then there's a canopy, which makes it dark. And then there's a slight curve coming into the station. And then there's a downgrade to come down into the station. And coming at 35 miles an hour, the momentum of train that big with that much weight, the braking distance, you just can't hit the brakes on the car and just stop.
Yeah.
It's thousands and thousands of the weight of this of all these cars. It's tremendous, and it takes a certain braking distance to stop this train.
When you first, go back to the beginning, when you first heard the scream, were those people on the platform saying there's someone down? Who was screaming?
They're just regular people on the platform was
Saying
that there was somebody
she was
down there.
already down there
Yes,
when you saw
I
her.
looked over and I seen her on the roadbed, and then I like.
Jumped on? Did you ever see her get down?
When I seen her, she was on the roadbed, but I understand somebody said that she sat down and then she hopped onto the tracks.
Did you have a flag, or were you waving? What were you doing? I mean, trying to.
Didn't have any flags. I didn't even have my helmet with me. I just had my vest with me. Thank God I had my vest with me.
That's
with
basically
these,
what I saw with the vest.
you know, and you just if you want to stop any train, we're trained just to, you know, any hand motion across the tracks, it means it's signal to the monument to stop the train. There's a problem. There's either somebody on the roadbed. There's, you know, to stop the train. Any kind of motion across the
Can you
tracks.
show us what your motion was?
Oh, see, I thought you were waving.
No, no.
Hold on, do that again, Tony.
Do it again.
It's like a
She was
back and
behind
forth,
me.
a back and forth mode.
Tony, do that again.
You know that means
Stop the train.
That makes
But once I saw him run towards
Any-
the track, I knew something was wrong.
Or
So I
if
put the
you
train in
wave
reverse.
anything, or if you wave anything across the track, could have been my helmet. If I waved my helmet across the track, that's a signal to the monument to stop the train. There is a problem out here. There's somebody out here. Stop the train.
how many years do you want this for?
22.
And how many years do you want
6 years.
Have you ever
6,
had
yeah.
anything like this happen?
No, no, it's my.
How did it affect you to vote when you had to set out these success?
I mean, I don't think I'm ever gonna forget the lady saying to me, "Why? Why?" It's like,
Did you come out of the train? She said that, or
yeah.
you could hear it?
I opened the door, the storm door. I opened the door, and she said to me, "Why? Why? Like, why did you stop the train?"
Have you met? Have you know each other? Have you met
No,
before? Seen
no,
each other?
no.
And how did that make you feel when she's saying why?
I just wondered, why would someone do this? It's like, I can't imagine. If it wasn't for Tony, she would have been gone. Because the speed we come around, the first time I would have seen her is when I cleared that curve. And by then it was too late. By the time if I was to stop that train at that point, I would be halfway in the station.
So
I
do you think like your training kicked in on what's
Oh, definitely.
absolutely.
Definitely. Once
Absolutely.
In school cards,
Yeah.
they teach us once instinct tells us something is wrong, stop the train. Don't take any chances. Stop the train. So once I saw him coming across the track, I saw his vest. I figured something's wrong. Stop the train.
And you're not trained to do what you did, right? You're trained, I mean,
Well, we work around trains every day. We work around the third rail every day. We're on the tracks almost every day. We do a lot of other things other than just working on tracks. We work in relay rooms, stations, and so yeah, we're trained. We're definitely trained to, you know, in an emergency to stop. I knew exactly what I had to do in order to save this lady's life. And you know, I just my instincts was just kicked in. I just knew I had to get to her. I knew I had to get to him as quick as possible in order for him to stop the train before he was, you know, going to hit her.
when you finally got home. When did this happen? When?
Yesterday, 10:30 a.m.
AM. So did you continue on with your day the rest of
Yes.
the day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, after the initial incident, I had to call the control, RCC, call them, let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
They in turn called the police, and then they gave me permission after Tony took the lady out of the station. They gave me permission to move up to my marker. I moved up to the 10-car marker and discharged the train, and they got all the information that they needed. Then I went back in service.
And you went back and finished your day?
Yeah.
And what did you do when you got home then? I mean, no specifics, but did you do anything?
I just spoke to my wife. She wanted to know what happened, and you know, she kept on asking me, "You okay? You okay?"
Are you okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, I did the
I'm
same.
fine.
Spoke to my wife, my daughter Kayla, and my son Larry. They were extremely proud, I must say.
Hey,
I just-
Tony, when you told that story and you were telling your wife about it, did it strike you differently?
No, not really. Not really. I just didn't want anybody to get hurt or on my watch. I didn't want anybody to get killed while I was there. You know, I just felt I had to do something to save this lady. You know, and you know, I just hope that today, doing this, hopefully somebody could reach out to her, because I really believe it's God's way of saying, you know, she's got a second chance. You know. And you know, maybe there's somebody out there that could reach out to her and maybe to help her and to get the if she needs help, you know.
What would you like to say to her?
There's a lot of good people out there that willing to help if you need some help, or you know, and that you know, that there are many things that she could do, and I was hoping that she would stop and wait for somebody to you know, to help her, but she just decided to go on her own, and you know. Excuse me?
Would you guys want to be her? Would that
Yeah.
I just hope that she gets some help.
I wouldn't mind. I just hope that she, you know, she's okay, and then, God forbid, she repeats what she, you know, if something like this does happen,
Because I think she made up her mind that was it, and I think if she doesn't get the help that she needs, she might probably try it again.
Thank you. Thank you. We've got a statement from Andy Byford, which if any of you haven't gotten, you can get. And I would just add that the MTA takes very seriously the welfare of all of the people who ride the subways. We are particularly gratified at the actions of these men who we think exemplify what the MTA and New York City Transit employees are trained to do and want to do. And in the meantime, since this happened, the MTA and New York City Transit has been working closely with the New York Police Department to try as best we and they can to identify and locate the woman who was on the tracks, to give her whatever help we can. I would direct you to the NYPD as to what their efforts are. You can see that they have started a mobilization to try to do a canvass and to locate this woman.
Will the station get any safety upgrades? He said that it was a dangerous place.
No, I don't think that's what he said, and I can talk to you about upgrades to the station at a different time. But this wasn't about a need for improvements to the station. It was about employees caring for the riders and taking immediate and appropriate and effective action to stop something that could have been a lot worse. And we at the MTA are very, very grateful that they followed training, instinct, and just goodwill in their character to stop what could have been had a very different ending. And it didn't, because they acted. All right. Thank you.